What's up, my Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpio? Welcome in, welcome in. This is going to be your forecast when it pertains to what does Gemini season have in store for you, baby, okay? So please make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and let's dive into this reading, all right? Water signs for Gemini season. This is going to be one of those seasons where it's like, all right, let's stop being so fearful of the unknown. Let's stop being so fearful to push ourselves to grow out of our comfort zones, out of the things that we are so used to. So I really feel like this is going to be one of those seasons to where y'all will be making a lot of significant changes pertaining to health, love, finances, self-worth, self-esteem, and that's what all of this energy is given, okay? So let's start off with some of your oracle cards before we dive into the tarot cards first, okay? The first card that came out was Embrace the Unknown, okay? So when it pertains to the life situations and, you know, the clarity that will be pouring in for you for the Gemini season, this one is one of those cards where it's like, let's make sure that we're embracing, even when we don't know exactly what's happening or what's going on or where it's going to lead us. As long as we know that we're going down the right direction and path, that's all that matters, okay? So this one says, venture into the mystery with an open heart, welcoming the lessons hidden in uncertainty, okay? This is another reason why one of your other cards came out as open doors, okay? Open door. And this one says, you have many options, so take time to choose what's right for you in all areas and in all aspects of your life right now, all right? This is exactly why Pathfinder came out for you as well. I really feel like, you know, Gemini season may feel like a compass. You searching, you trying to figure out which the next direction for you, where you're trying to see which direction is right for you when it pertains to this, when it pertains to that. So water signs, this is going to be one of those seasons to where it's like you're figuring out a lot. And it makes sense because this is Gemini season, Mercury season, okay? This is going to be the season to where we're learning a lot, we're figuring out what's best for us, what isn't best for us, we're trying to see what aligns correctly with us and what no longer aligns. So this one says, trust your inner compass to illuminate your path through love and through career, revealing the direction your soul wishes to explore. Okay, so what do you wish to explore in Gemini season? What do you wish to expand upon? What are your Gemini goals? What is something that you really want to work on that's going to pertain to you learning more or opening up your mind to more, or maybe teaching something or expressing something, finding your voice during this season, okay? So this is why the gate of opportunities came out. All right, this one says, pass through the gate of opportunities wherein new paths unfold for you that has so much potential for you, okay? And then you also did get fresh ideas, okay? A lot of fresh ideas will be, you know, brought up, created. Stay open-minded, inviting new perspectives to enrich your journey and spark creative solutions, okay? So embrace some new, fresh ways of thinking and, you know, acting and pursuing and creating or healing that can really put you in a better position to where you can grow. And this is why Carried Away came out last. Let yourself be caught up in the whirlwind of a romantic moment. Now, this is more pertaining to love. So some of y'all could be finding some love, getting maybe in tune with somebody romantically, maybe fixing or healing or connecting with someone on a deeper level during Gemini season with Carried Away. So, you know, expect that love life to kind of be either thriving, evaluated, healing, growing, you know. Two cards that came out for y'all that I really want y'all to make sure that you're working on in Gemini season as well, water signs, is you got Surrender to Denial coming out as one of your surrender cards, and then even as one of your lesson cards, you got Denial. So I'm not sure what the hell y'all asses is living in denial about, which y'all could be running away from, hiding, avoiding, not addressing, not facing. But like I said, Gemini is going to be that wake-up call season to where it's like, all right, it's time to take off the blindfold. It's time to start seeing people and start seeing, you know, certain habits and patterns that you have as unhealthy or something that's blocking you or delaying you or disappointing you, okay? So both of these cards basically says accept people and accept situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties that come with it. Then you can start seeing things more clearly and start making better decisions for yourself, okay? So this is going to be a season of awareness, a season of really opening up your eyes and maybe having like a lot of things even come to surface that maybe have been hidden so long, whether it's pertaining to your trauma, other people's trauma, things going on around you, secrets being revealed. This is one of those things where it's like, all right, it's time to start facing what you may be running away from, because like I said, Gemini season is going to be a season to where y'all are taking things to the next level. Water signs, y'all are taking things to the next level. You're being asked to grow, mature. Let's make sure that we're rising up. And this is another reason why Ascended Masters came out for y'all. Y'all are ascending. So realize that Gemini season is going to be a lot of intensity, especially when it pertains to the energy happening within you and around you, water signs, okay? So this is a time to where your higher calling, your higher self is trying to align with, you know, the best possibilities and spaces and opportunities for yourself, but you have to make sure that you realize that, okay, in order for me to take it to the next level, I have to work on expanding and keeping myself open-minded towards what life has to offer me. I may not know everything of what life has to offer me. I may not know exactly what I'm doing or where I'm going, but I know I'm just surrendering and I'm keeping myself open to the unknown, basically. Okay, so as we dive into these cards, with Temperance in reverse and with the Four Swords coming out, like I said, Gemini is going to be a season to where it's getting you back into balance. All right, with the Temperance card in reverse, Temperance is all about peace and inner calmness, balance, patience. But whenever this card comes out of reverse, it could represent, water signs during the season, maybe even the beginning half. You're going to feel maybe a little imbalanced, maybe feeling like you're overworking yourself, maybe feeling maybe even very reckless. Temperance in reverse could even represent a person that may be having like a lot of trauma or trouble with inner calmness. So I do feel like with Gemini season approaching, maybe the beginning half, a great time to really just keep yourself grounded and keep yourself centered. This is one of the reasons why I feel like your root chakra came out, a great chakra to really work on during Gemini season. All right, this is a chakra that can really just help ground yourself back into your body, back into the moment, back into some more peace. This is also why the Four Swords came out, because there may be like a lot of fear, anxiety, exhaustion, feeling tired being centered around you during this Gemini season, or maybe the beginning half. So I really want y'all to incorporate getting more rest, and this is exactly why pause came out. Find time to pause, find time to just chill out, find time to just reflect and focus on where you can give more to your sleep, give more to your body, health wise, sleep wise, self-love wise. This is one of the reasons why the Eight of Swords came out in reverse. I really feel like when you look at this card in the upright, she's blindfolded, she's restricted, she can't move. So whenever this card comes out in reverse, it represents freedom. Gemini season is going to be that season to where you're being asked to embrace releasing or finding solutions to where you feel so restricted, to where you feel like, oh my god, I'm not able to get enough sleep, I'm not able to focus on my health, I'm not able to go to the gym as much, I'm not able to do this as much. So this is a season to where it's like, all right, it's time to find ways to find relief. It's time to find ways to find solutions, but it's also time to find ways to start taking control of where you maybe have been a little out of balance, where you have been out of control and not giving to yourself enough. So this is, or maybe even your goals or your relationship enough, okay? This can represent anything that you may have not been giving enough to. So with the Nine of Swords in reverse, this is a good card. I do see a lot of y'all eventually finding the light at the end of the tunnel, eventually coming out of the stress and the negativity and the fear of things. Okay, so this is why I really want y'all to make sure that you're surrendering to any resentments in the Gemini season. All right, holding on to resentments only poison you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and even forgive yourself and find ways to move forward. I want y'all to surrender to any defensiveness as well during Gemini season. All right, defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, or find ways to find solutions to whatever issues that you may be having in your life. Okay, so this is why the World came out in reverse as well. I really want y'all to learn how to start honoring yourself, honoring your body, honoring your goals, giving yourself more grace and gratitude during Gemini season as well, because this is what's going to be heavily being centered around y'all. Okay, you need to make sure that you're not hesitating to basically step into your full potential. You need to make sure that you're finding ways to evolve and grow in your relationships, in your mindset, in your lifestyles, and finding ways to get yourself back in a state of not feeling stagnant or feeling stuck, but in a state of like, you know what, I'm growing, I'm evolving, I'm loving on myself, I'm pushing myself towards new things. Because with the Eight of Cups in reverse, the Tower in reverse, water signs, I need y'all to stop being so resistant. I need y'all to stop holding yourself back when it pertains to like, all right, it's time to do better, it's time to grow better, it's time to expand better. Okay, because this is what this energy is giving. It's like, stop being fearful of either moving on from something during Gemini season, saying goodbye to something, transitioning out of something, changing up your habits or your lifestyle or your patterns, your eating patterns, stuff like that. This is going to be a wake-up call season for many of y'all when it pertains to like, all right, enough is enough. I can't keep avoiding what's going to just keep eventually getting worse if I don't handle it now, if I don't work on it now. Okay, so that's what this energy is given. That's exactly why acceptance came out for y'all as another lesson card. A lot of y'all will be having to learn how to accept a lot of things in your life during Gemini season that you just either didn't want to accept, or that you have maybe fearful to accept, or maybe just didn't want to really dive into, but now you have to. Okay, so this is all about like really learning yourself again. Okay, really learning how to partner, how to grow, how to expand, how to take things to the next level. You know, I really want y'all to make sure that you're working on your self-esteem and your self-worth. I really also want you to work on your independence. Gemini season, some of y'all may be feeling very lonely during the season as well, okay? So this is why loneliness came out as another lesson card. All right, I really want you to work on that. But I do feel like, you know, Gemini season is going to be one of those seasons to where y'all will be having some wins as well. Y'all did get the Ace of Pentacles coming out, and y'all already know when the Ace of Pentacles coming out, this is a card that could represent more money, or you finding more stability and security in your life again, okay? You building and pushing towards new seeds that you're planting, and really finding ways to elevate and grow and maybe even mature. You're growing up during Gemini season, okay? This is exactly why I feel like the Emperor also came out, because this is one of those cards where it's like, baby, you have the tools, you have the creativity, you have what you need to push yourself. So during Gemini season, let's make sure that we're being disciplined and focused now, to make sure that we're amplifying that energy and doing it on a day-to-day basis, okay? So the Emperor card is a very serious card. It's the daddy card. It's the boss card. So I need y'all to step into your boss energy during Gemini season when it pertains to discipline, being more logical, you know, being more dependable, especially for your family, for people around you, and finding more structure in your life as well during Gemini season, okay? This is why I really want y'all to, you know, really work on your pride. Make sure that your pride is not getting in the way of certain things as well. I really want y'all to surrender to your creativity. Do something creative. Find ways to expand in your creativity, whatever you are an artist in. Surrender to your ego. Make sure that your ego is not blocking you when it pertains to how you're embracing gratitude or giving to others, or, you know, being kind, you know? So I do feel like with the Ace of Wands and the Six of Wands coming out, y'all possibly could be getting recognized, maybe even going viral in the Gemini season as well. Some of y'all could be getting like a promotion, a raise, achieving something, graduating from something, maybe celebrating something. Both of these cards are really good when it pertains to new beginnings, when it pertains to success, when it pertains to, you know, having that triumph energy. Some of y'all probably could be getting recognized from celebrities, you know. I do feel like Gemini season will be a good season overall, especially even with the Knight of Wands and the Magician card coming out. You know, some of y'all could be expanding or elevating your sex life, maybe having more sex. Some of y'all could be really stepping more into like, I want to take charge. A lot of y'all may be in this energy of refining your power, utilizing your skills, stepping more into like your magic and manifesting, finding ways to put yourself out there when it pertains to even challenging yourself in the month of in the season of Gemini. So that's what this energy is giving. So it's like, let's just not be fearful of change. Let's not be fearful of movement. Let's not be fearful of growth. Let's not be fearful of just doing something that maybe makes us a little uncomfortable, but it's what we need. So that's why the Two of Cups came out last. Like I said, this could more pertain to relationships, the Nine of Cups and the Two of Cups. So some of y'all will be reevaluating some connections, okay? Some romantic connections, friendships, business partnership connections that just no longer serve you. So like I said, this is going to be a season all about how you're choosing yourself, how you're choosing your health, how you're choosing your love, your joy, your creativity, yourself. You know, this is going to be a season to where it's like, look, I can't keep focusing on the past. I can't keep allowing the past to dictate my future. I can't keep being stuck in my comfort zone. This is a version of you that I feel like you are being asked to grow out of and mature out of, and find ways to push yourself in a new direction, because you've been through the fire. You possibly still could be going through the fire. So now Gemini season is like, all right, let's find ways to utilize getting ourselves back into alignment, focusing on how we can put ourselves back into the spotlight, or utilizing our creativity to put ourselves back into the spotlight, getting back on your throne, getting back on your boss energy, okay? Finding ways to just reclaim what's yours and no longer dimming your light or dimming your magic, okay? So that's what this energy is giving. This is why abundance came out for y'all. I really want you to work on your abundance. I really want you to make sure that you're also lastly surrendering to the magic of who you are. Surrender to the magic of who you are, babe, okay? This one says, we all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness that just comes from you just being you. So you are just magically you, just with a uniqueness that just comes from you just being you. You expressing how you need to express yourself, or moving how you need to move. So I love this energy. So, you know, Gemini season is going to be all about being that pathfinder, searching, figuring out what's ticking, what's not ticking, what's moving for you, what's not moving for you, and getting yourself back on your throne as a motherfucking boss should. Okay, so water signs, this was your Gemini season overall. I hope I gave y'all much clarity. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Bye.